It was supposed to be an inspirational moment. A pop icon draped in the symbolism of progress and representation, stepping aboard a Blue Origin rocket to break boundaries and elevate awareness for women in STEM. For Katy Perry, her 10-minute flight into suborbital space was meant to be a message, a milestone, a legacy builder. Instead, it became a joke. And not just any joke, one that's about to be immortalized in South Park's upcoming season, alongside some of the most brutal pop culture roastings the show has ever attempted. For Perry, the flight back to Earth wasn't just physical. It was a nosedive straight into the cold reality of meme culture, public cynicism, and biting satire. The backlash didn't start with South Park, but it's South Park that's preparing to take it nuclear. Let's rewind. On April 14th, Katy Perry boarded a Blue Origin spaceflight.
We had 2 astronauts, real astronauts, not these fantastic cosmonauts. We had freaking 2 people stranded for 9 months.
Accompanied by fellow high-profile personalities, including Gayle King. The event was marketed as history in the making. Interviews framed it as an inspirational push for female visibility in aerospace. Footage of Katy floating in zero gravity, delivering heartfelt sound bites, even dramatically kissing the ground upon landing, was packaged for media rollout with a script that screamed, iconic. But the internet didn't see it that way. First wave of criticism came fast. Memes exploded within hours of touchdown. One now viral post showed phone notifications that read, Katy Perry has launched into space, followed minutes later by, Katy Perry has returned safely. The sarcasm was baked in. 10 minutes, a few selfies, some marketing buzzwords, and suddenly she was being called a space pioneer. That was the moment people started asking the uncomfortable question. Was this trip really about inspiration? Or was it just a celebrity vanity project dressed up in feminist rhetoric? Gayle King's comments didn't help. In interviews, she suggested that the mission would inspire young girls to pursue careers in STEM. But many critics, particularly in the scientific community, found the message hollow. This wasn't a research mission. It wasn't an educational program. It was, as one YouTuber bluntly put it, a billionaire amusement park ride. And now, the punchline is coming courtesy of Trey Parker and Matt Stone. According to early storyboard leaks, South Park's upcoming 27th season will feature an episode mocking Perry's flight, possibly turning it into one of the show's most outrageous and offensive roasts yet. The episode allegedly includes animated versions of Perry, Gayle King, and even P. Diddy floating in zero gravity while absurd events unfold around them. But this isn't just background humor. South Park is building the entire narrative around the idea of celebrities launching themselves into space to escape criticism on Earth. It's classic South Park, twisting a cultural moment into a brutal mirror aimed squarely at the egos of the rich and famous. In the leaked plot, P. Diddy is portrayed as a celebrity who's been trapped in space, partying alone while hiding from public scandal. The ship he's on? A ridiculous, exaggerated version of Blue Origin's real spacecraft, mocked by Megyn Kelly and countless others for its uncanny resemblance to certain human anatomy. South Park leans into that too, reportedly turning the rocket into a literal flying joke. Bezos, another frequent South Park target, returns as well, this time as a cosmetic-obsessed space overlord experimenting on celebrity faces. He's once again portrayed not as a tech visionary, but as a dystopian caricature of capitalist absurdity. And then there's Perry. In one sequence, sources claim her animated counterpart's face begins to melt in zero gravity. It's surreal. It's savage. It's exactly what South Park has done for years. Take a cultural moment and inflate it until it pops, exposing the insecurities and hypocrisy underneath. What's worse, Katy reportedly isn't taking it well. According to insiders, she's been discussing the backlash with her therapist. Not the flight itself, she enjoyed the experience, but the way it was received. She's reportedly expressed regret over how the mission was framed and how the public turned on it so quickly. In one fan interaction, she attempted to play it off with grace, saying, "When the online world tries to make me a human piñata, I take it with love." But even that was met with more mockery. Every attempt to reclaim the narrative has only fueled the fire, and it hasn't stopped with the space flight. A recent concert video showed Perry wandering the stage in slow, awkward motions, seemingly ad-libbing her performance. Fans online described it as surreal, disconnected, and like watching improv after a head injury. For someone who once controlled the pop stage with glitter and precision, the contrast was jarring. The timing made it worse. Coming, right as the memes about her space trip were peaking, South Park saw the blood in the water. But this isn't just a Katy Perry takedown. This is a cultural reckoning. Because when South Park goes after something, it's usually not the surface they're targeting. It's the undercurrent. And the undercurrent here is about performance masquerading as progress. This isn't the first time Parker and Stone have obliterated a high-profile media campaign. Their episode Joining the Panderverse mocked Disney's endless cycle of diversity-driven remakes and its PR-centric approach to storytelling. In that now iconic episode, a Disney exec proposes every creative solution with the phrase, "Put a chick in it, make her gay." The satire was undeniable. It wasn't an attack on inclusion. It was an attack on lazy, performative branding that treats identity as a marketing strategy instead of meaningful representation. And now, they're applying that same lens to Perry's mission. In the public eye, the Blue Origin flight felt more like a brand deal than a breakthrough. A 10-minute rocket ride with no scientific purpose, hyped as a cultural milestone, loaded with hashtags and media spin. The only missing piece was a new single release to tie it all together. It was space travel as spectacle, not science. To be fair, the backlash may be louder than it needs to be. Perry didn't do anything illegal. She didn't crash the rocket. She didn't lie. She just went on a flight that happened to be dressed up as something grander than it really was. But that's exactly what makes it satire fodder, because it represents a broader Hollywood habit of wrapping shallow acts in profound messaging. And for South Park, that's irresistible. But satire or not, there's a real consequence here. Perry's brand has taken a hit. Once seen as fun, accessible, and eccentric in a good way, she now risks being viewed as disconnected and overproduced. Her attempt to inspire turned into a parody of itself, and no amount of spaceflight footage or sentimental quotes can unring that bell. The episode, if aired, will likely be one of the most talked about South Park stories in years. It hits every mark: celebrity culture, billionaire weirdness, media hypocrisy, and the widening gap between pop icons and the public they're supposed to inspire. It's everything South Park was built to mock. And Perry, unfortunately, fits the template a little too well this time. So now the question becomes, what happens next? Can Katy Perry reclaim the narrative? Can she shift the story from cringe to comeback?